Dave, you were recently at a customer's annual food safety summit. While you were there, you were able to experience a sophisticated risk assessment workshop. And you had mentioned that risk assessments are data hungry. What did you mean by that?
Yes, it was quite an experience, Dan. I got to sit in a room with the food safety team from a global organization. They were looking at both a hazard analysis and a risk assessment. The hazard is the thing that causes danger. The risk assessment is determining how probable is this thing to happen, and if it happens, at what frequency does it happen? And then how severe is the problem if it happens? So there's multiple factors in a risk assessment. And as the group went through this, it occurred to me just how data hungry this process really is, right? Because for each different hazard, you have to understand things like, well, how frequently could this happen? And without data around the actual occurrences of how frequently it happens, you have to kind of guess at it. It occurred to me that, gosh, it would be really important in a risk assessment to have records of how many times has a certain pathogen been discovered in a food production facility? How frequently was that discovered? And then what's been the severity of the outcome? Did an entire run of production need to get scrapped as a result? Was there a recall, or was it discovered soon enough that something could have been done to defray that risk?
Dave, what were your takeaways coming out of that risk assessment that had to do with managing and accessing data?
There's a huge difference between that perceived risk and then the real risk assessment using data. So for me, I came away feeling like, it's really important what we're doing here with Neogen Analytics. Our customers are able to see that data on a daily basis. They can update the trend line and show, are we seeing an increase of incidences that really are adding to our risk? What are we doing about that? How effective is that over time? And with that kind of information, when you come back to do a risk assessment, you're able to really pinpoint the actions that are going to have an impact on lowering your risk.